We are going to continue on our series of motion design in Unreal Engine. In this video, we are going to learn how you can create Niagara system particles and apply it on any object that you want, and how you can create some emissive and non-emissive materials and apply it to your particle system. So without any delay, let's jump into Unreal Engine. I have created a new level in our existing motion design project. Now let's start with our mesh first. So I'm going to import the skull which I have downloaded from Sketchfab. So let's just import it. Let's just go to content drawer here. Let's go to motion design. Let's right click here and let's just create a new folder. And let's just name it to 3D model. Okay, and I'm just going to double click, right click and import my skull. As soon as I import it, I will get this stuff here because it's an OBJ. Just click on import and you will have your skull here. Now I'm going to drag and drop it here. Okay, as soon as I drag and drop it, you can see it's here. If I press F key, you can see it's really small. So let's just press the R key and let's just resize it like this. Okay, and now you can see it's something like this. So let's just do 100 here. Okay, in all the axes of X, Y and Z. Now let's just rotate it by pressing the E key and let's just rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, let's just do 80 degree right now and let's just take it upwards here. Okay, and now you can see we are having this skull. Now I need to make sure that my scale of the skull is for the particles should be according to my real world scale. So I'm going to import a box here. So let's just go to create, let's just go to shapes and let's just click on cube here. And now you can see my cube is of this size. So I want my skull of the same size of this cube. So I'm now going to select the skull and I'm going to resize it a bit, something like this. And I'm going to press W key and just snap it here. And now you can see our skull is somewhere around this. And I can just make it here to around 70. Okay, in all the axes, and that's it. Okay, I'm now going to delete this box here. I'm going to create a new material and apply it to my skull here. Okay, so let's just rotate it a bit, something like this. Okay, then we are going to create the camera as well in the future. Okay, let's just go to content drawer. Let's just create a new material for this. So I'm going to go to my materials folder. Let's just right click and create a new material here. Okay, I'm just going to double click it here. I'm just going to right click, promote to parameter, and I'm going to just give it a maybe a black color of something like this here. Let's just save it and let's just apply the material here. And now you can see we are having this skull color of black here. Now let's just create our Niagara system. Okay, on which our particles will be emitted. So what we are going to do, we are going to create Niagara system particles and we are going to emit it on our skull here. In order to do that, you need to go to content drawer. Let's just go to our Niagara here. Let's just right click. Let's just create a Niagara system. Okay, we can create an empty Niagara system and then add a emitter as well, or you can directly click on empty and create. And let's just name it to Niagara system underscore skull. Now let's just double click and open it here. Okay, we are just going to take it here. Okay, and now you can see we are not having any particles here because right now we are not emitting any spawn rate particles or any instantaneous particles or something like that. So let's just go to our spawn rate. So let's just click on emitter update and let's just type here spawn and let's just take the spawn rate here. Now we are going to use lots of particles here. So for that, I am going to switch to my GPU here in our Niagara system. So let's just go to properties. Now I am going to just go from CPU sim to GPU compute sim here. And from dynamic, I am going to do fixed. Okay. Now we are using the GPU particles. Now let's just go to spawn rate. Let's just start with 1000 first. And now you can see we are spawning basically 1000 particles and you can see the count here as well. Okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to change the size as well. Okay, so let's just go to our initialize particles and let's just do a sprite size mode and let's just set it to uniform. Right now it's the size of 10. You can take it to 5 or 10 as per your requirement. Okay, let's just do one right now. And you can see we are having this small particle here which is getting emitted. Okay, now what we want our particle to spawn on our basically object. So in order to do that, we need to basically add a static mesh location. So let's just do that here as well. Let's just click on the particle spawn and let's just add a static mesh location. As soon as you do that, you can see here we are getting an error. So now we need to load that static mesh of the skull into our preview mesh and default mesh. So let's just go to skull particles here. You can see it's named Cranio. Okay, so we need to search here for Cranio, or you can just select and apply it as well. Okay, here it is Cranio and here as well Cranio. Okay, and you can see we are getting this error here. Okay, just click on fix now and you can see our error is fixed here. Okay, let's just save it here. And now you can see it is going to basically update it on our skull there. So let's just go here and let's just drag and drop our Niagara skull system. And as soon as I do that and I move it here, you can see it's really small here. We need to basically make it bigger. So in order to do that, just select your Niagara skull system and just parent it to your Cranio. Okay, and now you can see we are just emitting particles on our Cranio here. So you can see it here. Let's just do the lighting a little bit low here so we can see as well, okay, the particles clearly. So now you can see we are emitting our particles on our skull here. We need to basically add some spheres which will act as particles, because right now we are rendering sprite render, which is not a good thing because it is not going to have shadows. They are just points. So we need to replace this sprite render with our mesh. In order to do that, you need to go to your ns_skull. Let's just click on the render here. Let's just click here as well. Okay, and here you will find a mesh render. So just click on that. And now you will see we are getting something like this. Basically, they are axes here. Okay, so if I reduce my spawn rate here to, let's say, 20, you can see the axis, the gizmo X, Y, and Z. Okay, so let's just do 1000 again. Now go to mesh render. And instead of this axis, I want, let's say, a sphere or something like that. So how you can do it? It's really easy to do. Just you can see here it's written, basically you can see our mesh is basically this gizmo. Just click on this and just type sphere here. Okay, and here you have this sphere static mesh, and as soon as I do that, now it's going to emit our sphere. But in order to see it, you need to enable material overrides as well here. Okay, and if I save it here, okay, and if I go to my skull, you can see we are emitting lots of sphere here. The size of the spheres are really big, so we cannot see it. Okay, we are going to apply the material as well. Don't worry about that as well. But right now our object is to reduce the scale of that sphere because they are really big. So how you can do that? Here you will find a scalability option. And here you can see we are having low, medium, high, epic, cinematic qualities as well. But what I want to scale my object here. And here you can find a mesh bound scale of X, Y, and Z. Okay, so let's just do 0.2, 0.2 by 0.2. And let's just see how it's looking here. Okay, they are still big. So we need to basically make it smaller as well. So let's just do a 0.1. Okay, and let's just save it and see here. Okay, they are somewhat smaller but not that smaller. So we need to basically make them more small as well. So what we can do, we can add a scale parameter as well. Okay, so let's just do that as well. So in order to do that, we are going to now add a scale parameter as we have seen in the previous video as well. So let's just go to our particle update or particle spawn. Okay, so we are going to go to particle update and type scale here. Okay, and here you can find the scale mesh size. Let's just click on this and let's just do 0.1 and 0.1 here as well. And let's just save it and let's just go here, and now you can see our particles are really small. Okay, and let's just increase it to, let's say, 0.5 by 0.5 by 0.5. Okay, and let's just save it again, and now you can see we are getting this result. Okay, we can make it bigger again. You can just disable this sprite render as well. Okay, but right now as soon as I do that, you can see we are not getting any result. Now why it is that? Because in initialize particle here as well, you can see we are having this mesh scale attribute as well. So you need to set it to uniform. Okay, we are getting this one, and let's just do 0.1 here as well. And now you can see we are spawning basically 0.1 size particles here on our skull. Okay, so this is looking nice. Let's just make it a little bit smaller as well. So let's just do 0.5. Okay, yeah, this is looking nice here. Now let's just increase our spawn rate as well. So from 1000, let's just take it to maybe 6000. Okay, and now you can see we are emitting lots of particles on our skull here. Now the second thing comes is our material, because right now we are not emitting any materials here. Okay, so in order to use the materials, we need to create certain materials. So let's just go to content drawer. Let's just go to our material here as well. Let's just right click and create a new material. Let's just name it to M underscore. Okay, so let's just press F2. Let's just name it to M underscore emissive. Just double click it here again, and let's just right click here and let's just promote it to parameter. Okay, let's just double click and let's just do something like this maybe. Okay, and as soon as I apply this, you will see the result there. But in order to use the particles color, you need to have a certain node into your basically materials. So in order to do that, you need to add a node here. So if I press tab and if I type particle, you can see we are having lots of stuff here, but what we want is our particle color here, and just connect RGB to your base color. And now you can see we are having this white color, and just connect this to your emissive color as well. So we get that glow as well. Okay, let's just save it here. Let's just go to our skull particles, and now we need to basically apply the material on our skull here as well. So it's really easy. Go to your skull emitter system. Let's just rename this as well. So let's just right click and rename, and let's just name it to NS underscore skull particles. Okay, now go to mesh render, and here if you remember, we overwrite the materials here as well. Okay, now we need to create a material. So let's just click here, and you can see if I open this here as well, you can see we are having this material as well. So we need to apply a material here which we created. Okay, so let's just go to content drawer. Let's just drag and drop it here. Okay, and as soon as I do it, I save it, and if I go here, you can see now we are emitting that material that we created. And now it's really easy to change the color as well. So let's just do that as well here. So let's just go to NS underscore skull. And in order to change the color, there are again two options, which I showed you in the earlier video. You can go to initialize particle as well. Or what you can do, you can add a color attribute as well. So let's just add a color attribute. Okay, now you can see it's a white color. So let's just change it to maybe blue, and let's just see here. And now you can see we are emitting this blue color here. So let's just change this to, let's say, a color from curve. And now let's just add a curve here. Let's just do something like this in our orange. Okay, a bright orange. Then let's just take it to a light orange here. Okay, something like this. Okay, and something like this until here. Okay, one more thing I'm going to do. I'm going to just make sure that my opacity is set to 1 here as well. Okay, and as soon as I save it and go here, you can see we are having this variation of our color particles here. Okay, but I don't want to glow this much particles here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create another material on which I'm going to apply the non-emissive material. So it's really easy. Just go to content drawer. Let's just duplicate it and let's just name it to non-emissive. Okay, now let's just double click it here. Let's just right click and break this link and let's just save it. Okay, and this is our non-emissive, and let's just apply this non-emissive to our particle here. So let's just go to mesh render and let's just click here, and if I save it here, you can now see we are having this beautiful color combination here. Now what I can do, I can add some what we say specular and roughness as well. So in order to do that, you need to just double click it here and make sure that your maybe specular is set to 1 here and roughness maybe to 0.2, so we get that plastic feel. And now you can see it here as well. Now what I want to do, right now the particles are getting birth on the object, but I want to have some curl noise, so the particles are flying or something like that. So it's really easy to do that. Just go to your ns underscore skull, and now we need to basically what we say curl noise. So let's just click on the particle update and let's just type here curl noise, and let's just add a curl noise force. And as soon as you do that, you will get this error. As usual, click on fix issue, and if I save it here and if I go here, now you can see our particles basically are flying here. Okay, so if I zoom out here, you can see they are flying here something like this. So let's just go here. Now what I need to do, I need to basically change my strength here of the curl noise, and I need to change the frequency as well. So let's just do that as well. Now let's just go to our noise strength here, and what we can do, we can just randomize our noise strength as well. So in order to do that, let's just click on random range float and let's just give it a value here. So let's just maybe start with a value of 2 and end it with 4. Okay, minimum value of 2 and maximum of 4. Let's just go here, and now you can see we have basically reduced the speed of our particles here. Okay, let's again go to our skull here. Now what I can do, I can reduce the noise frequency as well, because right now the frequency I found is really high. So what we can do, we can reduce it as well. So let's just do maybe 30 here. Okay, and now you can see we are getting this stuff here. And now what I can do, I can just take this value a bit more down and I can add some more parameters into it as well. So let's just go to skull, and here you will find a pen noise fade. Okay, and if I give a value of 1 in X, you will see it's going in the X direction here. Okay, so this is looking nice. Now what you can do, you can add what we say a time as well. So the particles right now are dying in the lifetime of 5. So we can maybe take it to, let's say, 3. So they are going to die faster here. And now you can see. Okay, now what I can do, I can add some more particles here. But in order to do that, what I can do, I can add one more particle system, and I can give a emissive material to that particle system, and so some particles will be emitting some glow and some particles will remain as they are. Okay, so let's just go to our curl noise force. I think pen field noise should be around 0.2 here, and let's just check here. Yeah, this is looking nice here. So let's just go here, and now I can increase my particles as well. So we can maybe take from 16,000 to maybe, let's say, 12,000. Let's just try that. Okay, let's just go to our skull particle. Yeah, now we can see we are having lots of particles here. So we can make the size smaller as well. So let's just go to skull here. and we are going to go to scale mesh size. So right now it's 0.5. Let's just do 0.1 here as well. Yeah, now you can see we are emitting the small particles here from our skull. Okay, now let's just increase it a bit, let's say to 0.2. Okay, I can increase the particle counts as well. Okay, so let's just do 0.1 and let's just increase the particle count here. Okay, so let's just go to spawn rate. Let's just do from 12,000 to maybe 22,000. So we have lots of particles. Okay, and now you can see we are having this much particles here on our skull. Now let's just create a duplicate of this system here. So let's just press Ctrl D here. Okay, so I have this. In this, what I will do, I will reduce the particles here count to, let's say, 10,000. Okay, and I am going to apply the emissive material that I have created here. Okay, so let's just click here and let's just apply it. So now this will be having that emissive material and this will be having that non-emissive. So what will happen? You get something like this here. Okay, so now if you want, you can reduce the brightness as well. Okay, so you can do that as well. So you need to go to here, and here in color you need to play with the values here. Okay, okay, now you can see this is looking good. And now let's just go here as well. Let's just make it darker here, something like this. Yes, this is looking nice. Let's just take the values here as well. Okay, so let's just do something like this, from darker to lighter. Okay, if I do something like this here as well. Okay, then let's just add one more point here. Okay, and let's just save it and let's just now see. So now you can see the result here as well. Okay, I think 12,000 are bit more in our emissive. So let's just take the spawn rate to, let's say, maybe 500, so we don't get much particles. Okay, and now you can see we are emitting just some particles. And what we can do to take this more further, we can just play with the scale of this as well. So let's just go to scale mesh size here and let's just do point on, let's say, 4. Okay, so the emissive particles will be big and this will be small. You can see it here. So you can play with the values if you want. So let's just do 0.3 here as well. And now you can see the result here. Okay, I think 0.3 is too much. So let's just do 0.2 only. Okay, and yeah, this is looking nice. We can add some more particles as well. So let's just go to spawn rate and let's just do 1000 here. Okay, yeah, this is looking nice. Now in order to get some really good depth of field, I can do that as well. So let's just press Ctrl L and let's just make it darker here. Okay, something like this. And what I can do now, I can just apply a material here as well, a dark material that I have created. So let's just apply it here and now you can see the results. You can increase the quality here as well. So let's just go to screen percentage. Let's just do 140 here as well. Okay, and now you can see this is looking nice. Let's just create a camera as well. So let's just go to create. Okay, let's just go to cinematic and let's just create a cine camera actor here. Okay, now let's just take it here. Let's just rotate it. And now you can see we are getting this result here. So let's just go to our cine camera actor. Okay, and now you can see the result here. See, and in order to get some really good depth of field, what you can do, you can just do a focus here as well. Okay, and now you can play with the focus. And now what you can do, you can just go here as well, increase the focal length as well. And now you can see we are getting some really cool depth of field here. Okay, and now you can play with the, what we say, the camera settings and get some really good result as well. Okay, so you can see You can do something like this to maybe this to maybe this. Okay, so you can animate in the sequencer as well. So this is how easy it is to create particles on certain objects. You can create some really good motion designs with the help of this thing. You can create it on the text as well and on any object that you want. So I hope you guys like this video. If you like this video, please press that like button, share it with your friends who wants to learn Unreal Engine, and I will see you in the next amazing video.